Hi there, and welcome to A Taste of Alexander Technique. Today we have Eloise, who we are interviewing and talking about yoga. Eloise, would you like to tell a little bit about yourself?
So I'm a singer and yoga teacher, and when I actually started practicing yoga more consistently, I noticed a big difference in my voice, and I think it came from the breathing that yoga helped me with. So I run a group for singers to help singers through yoga.
What inspired you to look into yoga in the first place?
I had kind of gone to a few classes on and off during high school, but never really went regularly. I think I would maybe go once or twice a month with my mom. And then we had this thing called winter sports because I'm in Utah. And so the first Friday of every month, our high school would dismiss people to go skiing. But I thought we had moved away from Utah when I was younger. And so I didn't really grow up skiing in the way that people had been together from kindergarten to 12th grade had been skiing for life. And one of the winter sports options was yoga. And I was like, okay, this sounds nice, like something indoors. And so I would go once a week to do that. And I really enjoyed it. And then kind of drifted away in college. And then in 2014, my sister had done a yoga teacher training. And she wanted to take a training that had taught her teacher. And she didn't want to go alone. And so she was basically like, do this yoga teacher training with me. I don't want to go alone. And so I said, okay. So it kind of happened by just chance. And we did an in-residence training, which there are kind of two types of trainings. One where you do sort of 2 weekends a month for almost 7 or 8 months to get 300 hours, or you can do every day for 5-6 days a week for a month. That's very intensive. And so it was an in-residence one where we were there for a month. And after training and learning, I just wanted to learn more. And I started practicing yoga more consistently. So that's why and how I ended up getting interested in yoga.
You trained by default. It wasn't initially your choice, but you kept going with it. Why do you want to share this with others?
I want to share it with others because I found it, and particularly as a performer and singer, my body is my instrument. And so I want to share it with others because it has helped me find greater ease and a kind of more balanced tension in my body, and sort of brought my awareness to places that I hold tension that I was not aware of before. And I think that that's useful for everyone to kind of have that information about their own body, whether or not you're a performer. Because I think we all store tension or tension imbalances and can find a better distribution of that tension, no matter if we're a performer or we're just sitting all day in an office or at home now.
If you had a vision or a mission, what would it be?
My vision or mission would be artists and not artists to find greater ease in their bodies and not hold breath. I tend to hold breath a lot, and yoga brought my attention to that. I have kind of started to see it as a common thing that people do just without thinking in day-to-day life. So that would be my mission in the world, just for everyone to actually have greater mindfulness of their breathing.
Now, what types of yoga do you really like to teach? Because there are several different types of yoga out there. What are the ones that you really specialize in?
I was trained in Jivamukti, which is a type of yoga that it's more of a hatha yoga base that takes a lot from Ashtanga and sort of a more, I don't want to say power yoga is, it's not, but definitely more of engaged and a little bit more vigorous movement, but holding poses for 5 breaths. And then my practice is mostly Ashtanga, which is where, if you hear vinyasa, that's sort of where that concept comes from. I think of vinyasa as not necessarily a type of yoga, but sort of like a big umbrella for several different types. That's kind of the camp that I'm in. I love restorative. I've taken classes, but I've never done a training, and I'm interested in learning more. So right now, what I teach is sort of is a balance between moving so that the body can be warm, but a 4 to 5 breath count so that you can find the engagement in a pose. I hope that makes sense.
Yes, especially that last part was beautiful. That was very clear. And what are some episodes that you would include? What are some examples of episodes?
So I would do kind of like a lower body, upper body episode, and then an episode that sort of merges the whole body engagement together.
Thank you so much, Eloise. I'm very excited to see what your segment entails and to see the audience that you bring in. It should be exciting.
Awesome. No, thank you so much for having me.